If your business is working, but every decision feels heavier than it should, what should I do next? Is this the right move? Should I wait? Should I think about it a little longer? You're not alone. And it's easy to think that overthinking means you don't know enough or that something is off. Maybe it's the wrong place, the wrong time. Maybe it's the wrong person. But overthinking isn't actually a sign of anything. It certainly doesn't mean you don't know enough. Most of the time, overthinking isn't a clarity, knowledge, or strategy problem at all. It's a decision problem. Here's what I see with experienced entrepreneurs and experts, and I'll give you a story from my own business shortly. I see capable, thoughtful, caring about making the right next move, caring about the people you serve. So you research, you map things out, you weigh the options, you get the input, you refine the plan, and then you research more, do more mapping, more weighing, more polling others, sometimes even amazing humans who have no experience in what you are building. And it feels productive. But underneath all that activity, the actual decision never gets made, or it gets made and then quietly reopened. It's not firmly decided. And every time you reopen it, your momentum resets. The vision gets a little foggier and further away. That's the real cost of overthinking, not just time, em- energy, confidence, trust in yourself, embodiment. So, as promised, I will give you an example from my own business. Several years ago, I decided to start a podcast, actually, about 5 years ago, several times, in fact. My podcast that never existed before has gone through many iterations. At one point, it was called Screw Perfect. I mapped out episodes, I outlined seasons, I brainstormed themes. Then I'd pause. Maybe the name wasn't right. Maybe the cover art needed work. Would anyone listen? Would anyone care? So I'd go back into planning mode. Maybe another name. Maybe I'd go and check and see if the domain was available. That was a big one. Lots of researching, lots of refining, lots of reworking. Then I'd reopen the decision again and again. It felt purposeful at the time, responsible even. I was doing my due diligence, wasn't I? But it was really just a series of open loops surrounding a decision that I hadn't firmly decided yet. It was busy work around a decision that I hadn't truly made. So finally, I realized something important. I was trying to answer this question. Would anyone care? Does anybody else have that one come up? I hear it a lot from clients, but it definitely has come up for me on many occasions. Would anyone care? But the truth is, the only way to get to that answer was to first answer a different question. Do I care enough to find out? Am I willing to be the person who doesn't need the answer ahead of time? That question landed so grounded for me. It was really an important question to ask myself. And I decided I was that person. I am willing to be the person who doesn't need the answer ahead of. I made a firm decision at that point that I care, that it matters to me, and it's worth doing even if not one single person listens. That was the real firm decision. And after that, everything became just execution. I didn't remake the decision again. That's the thing with making firm decisions. When we're overthinking and we're circling, oftentimes it's not that we're bad at follow through, that we are major procrastinators or perfectionists. It's that we haven't made a firm decision first and we started taking action as if it was. So that it's, if you think about it, pretty unfair to judge ourselves for not following through on a decision that wasn't firm. So, as I said, everything after that became execution. Today, we're 3 seasons in. We have over 160 episodes published, several more already recorded in the pipeline. Not because I got more clarity, I didn't get any more certainty on whether people were going to care or not, but because I stopped reopening the decision, because I embodied the person who makes it, who makes that firm decision. And now that podcast is ranked in the top 10% globally and on its way to the top 5%. Just super fun. So, firm decisions are very important. And let's look at what they aren't. So, firm decisions aren't, I think I'll try this. Maybe I'll see how it goes. I want to do this. A firm decision sounds like this is what I'm doing. I'm going to learn everything I can along the way. It's as good as done. And here's the part most people miss: a firm decision is an identity move, such a powerful identity move, because making decisions is your greatest power. And that's the power of making a decision that aligns with what you want and the vision that you want to create in your business and life. And it applies to the decisions that don't align. It's still a superpower. Your ability to make decisions is so important. And so, as we shift into making the decisions that actually align with our vision, then we start to embody that future self that's already created it. Good as done. It's you deciding, I am the person who makes these decisions, takes these actions, and learns my way to my business vision, to my dream business. Without that identity shift, your brain keeps looking for escape routes. That's when decisions feel heavy. That's when we are constantly reopening them because you're trying to move forward while keeping the door open to go back to comfort that isn't actually comfortable, back to safety that isn't really any more safe, back to a space where what if looms louder and louder. Every time you reopen a decision, your nervous system goes back to uncertainty. Your energy drops, your confidence takes a dip, your data gets delayed, and your business definitely slows down. We need the data. Success is created in the data, and we can't create the data without firm decisions, follow through that is intentional to create that data and knowing what to do with it. The builders who grow fastest aren't more certain. They're faster to decide, act, learn, and adjust because they don't turn every result into a story about their worth or what's possible for them. They treat it like data, useful data that informs next decision. If decisions feel unusually heavy right now, it's usually not because you lack information or skill or strategy. It's because your identity hasn't fully caught up to your next level. Part of you is trying to grow, another part is still asking for permission, safety, certainty. That tension is what creates overthinking. And the solution is not more strategy. It's becoming the person who gives the permission, who creates the safety, who owns the certainty, not just in the results, but in the one who's creating them. If this is resonating, I created something to help you see this clearly. It's called the Self Trust Identity Map. It's a short assessment that shows you where you're currently leading from, where your next level is asking you to grow, and what your business actually needs from you next. You'll find the link in the description because when you know the identity you're operating from, you see yourself clearly. You stop pushing against what you don't want and for what you do, visions get clearer, decisions get lighter, actions get cleaner, and momentum compounds. Your next level isn't waiting for more information. It's not waiting for more strategy. It's not waiting for more external input. It's waiting for a firm decision about who you're willing to be.